Good morning, Mr. Markus. We're incredibly honored to speak to you today. I'm I'm Jayden, and this is the GP project team that I'm working on. Our topic is education for all, and our issue is affirmative actions. So today we're going to be asking you a couple questions about the new developments in Sarawak's tertiary education, namely the Free Tertiary Education Scheme, or FTES. So I'll let Chloe start with the questions first.
Okay, Mr. Marcus, why is education important for you?
Oh, that's a very good question. Education is a way for me to get out of poverty. My parents were not educated, they were farmers, so I look at education as the very thing that got me out of poverty.
What do you think makes Sarawak's education needs different from other parts of Malaysia?
Again, a very good question. Sarawak geographically is very, very different because the the size of Sarawak is even bigger than the whole of Peninsular Malaysia. So geographically, we are different, and our needs are definitely different. The road system, transportation, communication network in Sarawak is far, far backward. Therefore, education needs for Sarawakian very, very different than West Malaysia.
What do you know about Sarawak's new tertiary education policy, the Free Tertiary Education Scheme?
Honestly, I don't really know much about it, but hearing about it, personally, I think it is a good, a good opportunity for Sarawakians, especially those in B40 group and students who are from the rural areas. You know, they sometimes they don't have the opportunity to study in universities, and so this scheme is going to be very, very useful. Many bright kids from the rural areas will be able to have the opportunity to study in good universities like Swinburne, Curtin. Those are very good universities.
Based on your experience, do you feel that the federal matriculation system has been fair to Sarawakian students? For context, the matriculation system is the affirmative action policies developed to support Bumi Putra students in their education.
If we think about Sarawakians in general, I would say that there is no fairness, given that there are only just a few centers in Sarawak, and so I think I'm not too sure, but I personally feel that there's a need for meritocracy in Malaysia, the education system that we have, and there's so many children, but the selection method probably needs to be improved.
In your opinion, does FTES offer equal opportunities for all Sarawak students, regardless of their background?
When we talk about Sarawak students, again, in terms of diversity, in Sarawak we have some students from poor homes, and of course, in the cities we have students from good families. So I would say that in life, in anything, there I don't think there is. It's not going to be fair, yeah. So there are people who have more opportunity to get better education. There are others who are still struggling because of their economic background.
How would you compare FTES with the matriculation program in terms of fairness and access to higher education?
So the free education, I would say, is going to be something very, very beneficial for Sarawakians. I personally feel that universities like Swinburne, Curtin, ICAT, all these are very good universities. And the medium of instruction is also English. And I feel that English is a very important language, and if students learned via English, I would say that they have, access to the best education.
How do you think FTES would support students in rural areas or those with limited resources?
A good question, because it's free. So those students from the rural areas, they will definitely have access to very good education, and being free also, they're exposed to excellent facilities in the universities, and at the same time, I would say that one of the outcome is that children from poor homes, they will have no choice but to learn English. They have to improve their English, and so in this way, if they are multilingual, not only proficient in Bahasa Malaysia, I definitely think that they have a better future. They can work anywhere they want, not necessarily in Sarawak. They can go out of Malaysia even.
Okay, thank you. Some students feel that the matriculation made it easier for others to get into university. Do you agree with this view?
I think I do agree with this, because we in Malaysia, I think meritocracy is not something that is happening. So there are some people with better grades, and yet they are not able to get into the local universities. So again, this is personally, I think for me as an educator, I think that there has to be meritocracy in Malaysia. So this is something which we are so much lacking.
Do you think Sarawakian students are treated fairly under the current higher education system?
Sarawakians probably, um, no, I don't think they are. So, but I'm glad the Sarawak government has started the initiative of starting international schools. So I'm so proud of being a Sarawakian, because now we are going to have more international schools, and most students from Sarawak would, learn the Cambridge curriculum. More people would be well versed in English, and we are not necessarily dependent on the federal government. And I like the autonomy that Sarawak government has, and how they're so courageous to step out and start this initiative. Not only the free education for tertiary education, also the how they started the international schools. So far, there are 2 international schools, and I think they're gonna be 5 or 6 in the near future.
Thank you. So, bearing courageous initiatives in mind, what advice would you give to make education in Sarawak more fair and inclusive for future generations, on top of what is already implemented?
On top of what is already implemented, I think there's a need for Sarawak, the Ministry of Education, to implement the Cambridge exams. I mean, somewhat similar to checkpoint, yeah, which is diagnostic. So that every student in Sarawak, when they get to primary 6, they would sit for the diagnostic assessment. Similarly, in Form 3 as well. In that way, they are able to identify what are their strengths, say for math, for science, and even languages. I mean, like English. And other than that, I think what Sarawak need to do is to find good teachers, to look for teachers who really have the heart to teach, and then give them enough training, to become very effective educators. And only then, of course, there's a need to improve the schools in Sarawak. Some of the rural schools are, dilapidated. I mean, they not buildings are really in need of repair. And they don't have enough resources as well. So there's a need for Sarawak government to improve, rather than depending on the federal government to improve the schools. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Markus. So, what message would you give to aspiring students who want to help improve education in Sarawak?
I think students, not think, I believe students are the future of the country. Yeah, they're going to be the leaders, the future leaders of the country, and they're going to solve the problems of the country as well. And in saying that, they do have a role to play if they do well in whatever they study, and when they come back to Sarawak, that is when they can contribute to Sarawak's development and growth. So definitely students have the responsibility to build the state.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Markus, for your time.
You're welcome.
Your thoughts are incredibly insightful, especially during this change of all these new developments in Sarawak's tertiary education. And yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.